everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Laura Afonso, live here at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center for GoLocal Prob. And we are starting off our food segment today with lots of carbs, just good stuff to really, really fill you up. And we have our first guest, Chef Tino Franco. Thank you so much for joining us.
Excellent. My pleasure.
Absolutely. So you are the executive chef at Basta in the newly opened Betula.
I am.
Yes. So lots of excitement going on in Cranston. We all think about Italian food, Federal Hill, but really you have to really think outside the box, and the box being Providence, and what is to offer outside of the city.
Yeah, I think Cranston's come a long way with restaurants, especially obviously Basta and Betula. But the city itself is growing quite a bit, especially around the Chapel View area. So I think we're fortunate, and I think it's come a long way from what it used to be. Definitely.
Now let's start off, before we get into all of the good restaurant stuff, I'd love to hear about you as a chef. Okay. You're the executive chef, and I'm sure you have a lot on your plate as the leader of the kitchen. But tell me a little bit about your experiences, where you started off, how you got into cooking, and what brought you to Basta.
Well, started in the business when I was around 16 or 17 years old as a dishwasher. Kind of just a job at a high school, and kind of took a liking to food. I grew up, my grandparents were immigrants, and they cooked amazing Italian food. So it was one of those things where I was used to trying different things, and I'm not picky.
Yeah.
So going into restaurants and eating and being able to taste, touch, see everything was really appealing. So little by little, you work your way up. You're a dishwasher, you're a busboy, a line cook, a sous chef. I was a valet for a little while. So all over the place, but I really found a love for cooking and kind of stuck with it. And then, I was at a few places on Federal Hill, and then got the opportunity at Basta 6 years ago.
Wow, so you've been there for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that story because really in a restaurant there are so many different roles to fill, both front of the house and back of the house. And, the need to go to culinary school and get that kind of training isn't necessarily, needed all the time. If you're actually learning by doing and having your hands in the kitchen and actually getting that experience, firsthand, it's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of money on Amazon and books.
Yeah.
A lot of learning, a lot of going out to eat, experimenting, seeing what's out there.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think as long as you have the energy and the determination to learn, it's there.
Right, and it takes you all the way up to the top, executive chef.
It does.
Yes. So talk to me a little bit about the role of being an executive chef, and especially now having your time being split between two restaurants. What does your day-to-day look like? What kind of things do you have to do? You're not just always on the line. You must be moving around quite a bit.
Yeah, with two restaurants, we've definitely had the opportunity to build a great team. So we have two executive sous chefs working in each location, plus myself.
Wow.
And I float back and forth a lot between the two restaurants, sometimes daytimes in certain places and night times in others, really depending on what the demand is. But yeah, it's busy, but I feel like when you get into volume and you get into busy restaurants, organization is key, and I think that's one thing that we do very well. We're very organized with it. We're obviously learning as we go. We're a young restaurant group, but we're definitely well organized, so it makes things a little bit easier in the long run.
Definitely. You have to be well organized, I'm sure, in order to keep all of your ducks in a row.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. So just a quick fun question. What has been the funniest or worst thing that's ever happened to you working in the restaurant business?
So when I was very young, I was 15 or 16 years old, I had a busboy job at Marchetti's restaurant in Cranston. Way back. You could still smoke cigarettes in restaurants at that point.
Okay.
And
I remember.
and it was like my third day, and all the cooks in the kitchen had asked me to get them drinks. So I thought I'd be, I'm going to go get one big tray and run it back and do the right thing for all the cooks in the kitchen. It was like a hot summer day, and they had these two big swinging doors going into the kitchen. And as I walked back into the doors smashed me. I dropped the drinks everywhere and made a big fool out of myself. Everybody laughed at me, and I was soaked with soda for the rest of the shift.
Everyone points and laughs.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no.
That was pretty embarrassing.
Oh, my gosh.
Lesson learned.
And it sticks with you forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody has one of these stories.
Oh, I think everybody in the restaurant industry definitely does.
Definitely.
Awesome. So talk to me about Basta. It is just an exceptional Italian restaurant in Patuxent Village, which is a really lovely place.
It is.
If you haven't visited Patuxent Village, it's really a really quaint community, really wonderful atmosphere over there.
It is. The village itself is something that I was kind of new to when I came to Basta, but it's an absolutely beautiful area, and Basta itself it's unbelievable. It's a unique dining experience. It's an elegant atmosphere. It's very much a big city vibe when you come in. The design itself is unbelievable, and the same designer actually designed Betula as well. It's magnificent, honestly. I love the restaurant itself. It's one of those things where you walk in and there's not a whole lot in your mind that you'd want to change. When you look at the design, the layout, everything makes sense. You know, you walk in the front door, you can see the entire restaurant. You can see the gold mosaic tiled pizza oven in the corner, the big long marble bar. So it really is a beautiful restaurant.
Definitely visual appealing.
It is, absolutely.
All right, so visually we've got that down. How are the taste buds?
The food is excellent. You know, I'm not saying that because I'm the chef there. Actually, I have a great team of people.
I can vouch. I've eaten at Basta before, and I can definitely say that it is wonderful.
You know, it's a scratch kitchen, and again, we talk about high volume and organization, so there's a lot that goes into it. You know, we make 6-7 days a week. We're in there prepping, turning, cooking, you know, developing, figuring out, you know, what's a little bit modern but a little bit classic. What will be more of a comfort to the people that come in and not intimidate the guests.
Definitely.
You know, fresh pasta, the VPN pizza, the entrees, you know, whether it's dry aged meats or, you know, excellent seafood or oysters in the summertime.
Yeah, oh my God, isn't that just the best?
It is.
Yes. Now, so you have a pizza oven in-house.
Yes.
And you also do really fantastic entrees as well.
Correct.
So what are some of your favorite things to be making in the kitchen?
I have to say, both pizza and pasta are, obviously as a chef, is very hands-on and very technique-driven. So those two are kind of the top two for me for what I enjoy. Especially making the pasta from the point in which you get the bag of flour until it goes in the machine and you actually make the pasta and then you're cooking it in the dish.
Yes.
It's pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, house-made pasta just makes all of the difference in the world, you know, in comparison to, you know, boxed pasta that's been dry.
Correct.
So tell me about the process of making fresh-made pasta and what about it makes it just that much better?
So obviously the fresh is number one.
Yes.
It's definitely not sitting on a shelf somewhere. So you know, we have these beautiful machines that the owner had refurbished. They're antique palm aroma machines that he purchased from somewhere in Italy, and he had somebody that specializes in repairing and you know, remodeling these machines. So we have certain dyes. So basically we get a semolina style flour, and depending on whether it's a ravioli, a long hair pasta, or a short pasta, you know, the hydration levels will change, certain ingredients will change, but overall you have your semolina flour that goes into the extruder itself, and you have these big brass dies, and you know, every die is a different cut of pasta. So whether it's a rigatoni or chiette, gnocchi, whatever it's going to be, you have a die for that. So it's a couple hours a day. You know, we spend down there in the basement. We have this giant prep area that we make all the pasta in.
It's labor intensive, but for very, very good reason.
It is. It really is.
Definitely. Now, when you, like you were saying, you walk into Basta, it's a really, really beautiful setting. I would say it's, you know, an ideal date night spot. It's very, like, almost romantic, suave, very nice. We have Valentine's Day coming up. Are you guys doing anything special?
Yes, absolutely. We have the Night of 1,000 Roses, as we call it, and we actually run it for 4 days now. It's going to be entertainment every night, and then we hang roses upside down from the ceiling. It looks like they're floating, a sea of roses, and we keep them up for the longevity of the nights. We have entertainment every night. We do a special menu for that. So Valentine's Day at Basta is one of the bigger weeks, bigger nights that we have.
That sounds like very special.
It is. It's excellent.
Yes. Now, 1,000 roses, that must take a long time to hang them up. How do you keep them fresh? I'm sure it is just a stunning, like, it looks probably like a piece of art.
It does, honestly, and the smell of the restaurant changes because of the roses themselves. You know, the process is developed and molded into something where now it's more mainstream for us. The first couple of years, you know, it's tough. You're trying to figure out who's going to get in there early and hang them all up. And, you know, learning lessons with the heat in the building where maybe it's too high, so some of them start to die. So we have a process now where we have a team that comes in during the day. One team will string them, one team will hang them, and then at the end of the evening, the management team will actually spray the roses themselves to make sure that they're fresh for the next day.
They're hydrated.
Correct. And if we do, I think last year we did like 5 days or 7 days. So if we go longer, then obviously we would actually replace the roses that are hanging and do the whole process over again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of roses.
It is. It is. But you know what? It's those little attention, that attention to detail that makes a difference for people.
I think that's a big attention to detail.
It is. It really
I think
is.
It's going to really make the evening.
It is. Yeah. It's that little extra.
Now, what kind of specials are we looking at for Valentine's Day?
You know, we tend to go, obviously, you know, everybody talks about aphrodisiac foods, and we definitely weigh in that direction. But we also try to do things that are elegant for people that they're going to enjoy. Surf and turf type of thing. We also have a truffle ravioli we'll be doing.
Oh my goodness.
We have oysters obviously we'll be doing for the evening.
Of course, have to have oysters for
Yep,
Valentine's
aphrodisiac
Day.
qualities. And we have a wonderful dessert we'll be doing as well.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really, really lovely. So if you're looking for Valentine's Day plans, something just that step above a dinner reservation, you're looking for a fantastic meal in a beautiful setting with an extra umph of beautiful roses in the atmosphere, it's just lovely.
It is.
Absolutely. So talk to me about Betala. It's the new sister restaurant of Basta.
It is.
Just opened up Rolf Square in Cranston. How is it going? What can we expect? What is it like in there?
So Betala was the reimagined take on the classic, pizzeria. So the owner had the idea to rejuvenate the classic vibe with the booths, the design, and then the food. Of course, we wanted to be Italian comfort food. We wanted it to be very simple, nothing intimidating, very easy for families, big parties, also for lunch, which will be starting tomorrow, and delivery as well. So we came up with a menu based upon some cool takes on comfort food.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, both of these are from Betala here.
Correct.
So talk to me about what we've got.
So first we do sandwiches at Betala. We use this wonderful ciabatta bread made from DeStefano's Boston Bakery. And it has eggplant, pink vodka sauce, whipped ricotta cheese, artichokes, and baby arugula. And then here we have a pizza, which is the Marilyn Monroe, which is one of the more popular ones. Yeah, so all blonde. So,
nice.
So it has gorgonzola, ricotta cheese, fresh mozzarella, and then we finish it with Mike's Hot Honey is a wonderful product that we use a lot at the restaurant. It's out of Brooklyn, New York. You can buy it now, I think, at Whole Foods. Williams-Sonoma has it. And we finish it with a little crushed red pepper. So it's a lot of balance between like rich and spice and savory. It's really good.
Sounds like it's really good. Smells like it's really good, and I can only imagine. Can't wait to dive into that later. So hot honey, some red pepper flakes. So you've got a nice pop of heat in there, a little tang of sweet.
Some salt from the cheese, yep.
Yeah. Sounds like a win.
It is a win.
Awesome. Now, I was looking at the menu, and I love that you guys have different options for build your own pizza. You have some fun toppings, something different that, not just your ordinary, margarita. You can pretty much do it all, but you have, options of a Bianco white sauce. You can do a pink vodka sauce on your pizza.
Correct.
So what kind of things are people getting creative with?
That was kind of one of the things when we started the restaurant was we wanted to have a cool take on pizza and have different options that not everybody else had. So the Bianco sauce, the vodka sauce, and the tomato is pretty straightforward, just really good San Marzano tomatoes. But people are adding everything. I mean, we have an option of egg yolk. We have the hot honey. We have prosciutto they can add. We have prosciutto di Parma, which is the same stuff we use at Basta. It's unbelievable. So they can add that, crispy chicken. We have truffle buffalo sauce that we have as well.
Oh my God, that sounds super good.
Yeah, it's really good. So we have a lot of cool different options that people can create. And, honestly, people have been great, very responsive about a lot of the Marilyn Monroe itself has been one of the bigger sellers. We have one Eddie Mushroom that's a big seller.
Yum.
So they're, honestly, they've been great. They really have. They enjoy everything. Everything's been going really well.
Awesome. Now, is there any difference between how you make your pizza at Basta versus how you make it at Betala?
There is, and that's an excellent question. So Basta is a VPN certified restaurant, so we have to stay within the guidelines of VPN, which tends to be much more strict about what we put on pizza, how we create the pizza, how we stretch the pizza, the olive oil, the tomato, the cheese, the oven, the wood.
Certain guidelines.
Yes.
For those who don't know, can you explain what VPN is?
So VPN is the governing body of pizza culture from Naples. So basically, it oversees all of the people opening up true Neapolitan pizzerias in the United States and internationally as well. They have they have VPN International and they have VPN Americas.
Wow. And that's to make sure that no one's calling it something that it's actually not?
Correct. And really, pizza to people from Naples and in Italy is a huge part of the culture. And they wanted to preserve that and not have it kind of bastardized in the sense of, people in America, all right, this is pizza and we're going to add this and we're going to put pineapples on it. So the VPN kind of has a guideline set for that, and it takes a little bit of time to get that certification.
Wow.
You have to go through a little bit to prove what you're doing is true Neapolitan pizza.
Definitely. So that really says a lot about what you're doing.
It does, yeah. So that's Basta, and then Betala's is a hybrid. We went to Brooklyn, we ate at a bunch of places, and took some inspiration and tried to figure out how we could come up with something that was good for delivery, had consistency. You could heat it up the next day. I mean, we tested 30 to 40 different recipes to get to this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I hear pretty cool things about the pizza oven at Betala. It's a little bit different. It has a rotation. How does it work in terms of cooking the pizza that way?
So it has a rotating stone. You can change directions. It's got this digital readout panel, so you can control it all. You can actually control the heat from the bottom of the pizza stone to the top of the oven itself.
Wow. So it kind of cooks from both.
Yeah, you can really fine-tune the oven, and it's all gas-fired. So it's a really amazing oven to work with, and it was a learning curve for all of us. You know, coming from Basta, where it's all wood-fired and everything is based upon the cook maneuvering the pizza.
Right.
Where here, it's kind of like you put the pizza in, you know, you keep an eye on it, and keep your times correct, and it comes out wonderful. It really does.
Just right.
It does.
That's awesome. Now, what else can we find on the menu? We know we've got sandwiches, we've got pizza. Are you also doing pasta? I know I saw on your menu a roasted chicken platter. Can you tell me a little bit about what else we can find on the menu?
Yeah, so you know, we also, being a neighborhood style restaurant where it's located, we wanted to have enough for, you know, everyone in the family. So we have, as you said, pizza, we have sandwiches, we have fresh pasta, we have a few fresh pasta entrees. We also have the roasted chicken dinner that we were talking about, which is basically a confit chicken that we soak in a salt solution for a couple days and then poach in olive oil.
Wow.
So that's a big feature as well. And we also have desserts. We have house-made cannolis, and we have an apple mousse cake that we make as well.
Oh my God, that sounds too good. So you guys are covering all the bases.
Correct.
Awesome. So really, if you're looking for family style, or if you're looking for, you know, more of a fine dining, romantic atmosphere, Basta and Betzola have both ends covered.
They do.
Awesome. Now, do you have any favorites that you definitely at at Betzola that really stand out to you? Aside from the pizza, maybe?
Yeah, you know, I think the fresh pasta is great. You know, I can't help but always go towards the fresh pasta because it's a labor of love, you know, and creating it and seeing it finished and people enjoying it is probably my favorite part.
Of course. And now I have to ask, because you mentioned it, how do you feel about pineapple on pizza? Is it a sin, or is it like, no, it's culinary genius?
My personal opinion,
Yes.
as a chef, my personal opinion is a no.
It's a no.
It's a no.
Okay, so here, you're basically like a pizza connoisseur at this point.
Yeah, I would like to think so.
Yes, so, and it's a no from you.
It's a no for me, but to each his own. You know, everybody has their own idea of what they like, and you know, you can't really tell people what to have. But I think for me, simplicity is the best on pizza. You know,
Definitely.
pepperoni, cheese, basil. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell us the addresses of both locations so we can definitely make sure we check out both spots?
Yes. So Basta is 2195 Broad Street in Patuxent Village in Cranston, and Betzola is at 44 Rolfe Square in Cranston as well.
Awesome. So definitely check out Basta, which has been in the community for a long time, and Betzola, the new sister restaurant. Newly opened, lots of great things to offer at both spots. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Awesome. And don't go anywhere because we have our second guest coming right up.